Okay, well, we've got a couple of seconds to go for market opens, so let's just stick with prices and then we'll pick it up from there. So much stuff, right? And it's flattish, at least at the index level. There we go, 25,080, 58,470 on the Nifty and the Nifty Bank, respectively. So, I mean, slightly up on the Nifty and slightly lower on the Nifty Bank. You got Sensex, which is up 0.12. Small cap index is up 0.5%. The mid cap index will come up as well with about a 0.4% kind of a gain at this point in time. 25,115 on the Nifty is where we are at. So it's a positive start. And now the Nifty Bank is also back in the green. Let's just look at the Nifty heat map in terms of where we are starting before we go any further. Kotak and some of the private banks, and we'll address some of these names in just a bit, are starting lower. So there you go. You've got Axis and Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports on one end. Remember, the Adani group all got sold into very heavily on Friday. So they're all starting in some rebounds there. And Kotak, Mahindra and Cipla are on the other end of the spectrum at this point in time. Rima.
Well, Axis Bank is your top gainer. Citi has upgraded the stock to a buy, raised the target price to 1436, while CLSA has an outperform call on Axis Bank with their target price standing at 1500. So that's on one end. On the other end of the spectrum is Kotak Mahindra Bank, where the numbers are fairly lackluster. Stock is down close to about 4.5%. The Labour Code impacting the bottom line. But even otherwise, the NIM expansion, which the street was hoping for, didn't come through. NIMs were flat on a sequential basis. Innocent Bank is the other bank reacting to the numbers, down 4.5%. Digant believes that perhaps the stock is close to bottoming out and could positively surprise. But Innocent Bank in early trade is under pressure. Adani Group stocks are racing away. Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, both up close to about 2.5%. Nigel was saying UltraTech numbers look look stellar. Clearly, the leadership stock in the cement pack, stock gaining nearly 3%. Hindalco, JSW Steel, Coal India, so commodity plays very active. Hindustan Zinc should also come up for you on your screen after the kind of an up move that we had in silver prices. Hindustan Zinc too has opened up with a gain of 3%. So commodities on the front foot for private sector banks, Axis, Kotak Mahindra Bank on the other side of the spectrum. M&M is taking a big knock on fears that there will be increased competition from the European car makers following the India-EU trade deal. M&M opens with a downtick of 4.5% because many of their high-selling vehicles could get impacted and they've been contributing to this performance. M&M is under pressure. Eternal is weak, 5.5%. In fact, the entire auto complex is weak. Coming back to that, Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles, Maruti, where the impact is expected to be limited since predominantly they operate in lower-priced cars, but even Maruti Suzuki has a downtick of nearly 1%. The two heavyweights, HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries, have opened in the red. And Nigel, it's disappointing, right? There was a gap-up opening, which was expected, but now we opened in the green, but the Nifty has reversed, down 30 points, and now just about clinging on to that 25,000 mark in the red now for the key indices.
Well, Rima, there are plenty of actually disappointing earnings reactions as well. IFB Industries, that stock is down close to around 9.5%. Volume's not very, very large, but the street clearly didn't like those numbers out there. So that stock has seen some big selling, in today's trading session in the initial few minutes. Godrej Consumer, that stock, in fact, is down 6.5%. So big downtick is what we're seeing on Godrej Consumer as well. That one is selling off. One Source Specialty, the numbers were disappointing. That stock is down close to around 5.5%. SBFC Finance, Mr. Dhruv, I think, is moving on. He's going to be with the organization, but a bit of a rejig at the top. So that stock is well down close to around 5%. So all these stocks are seeing some profit taking. What's doing well? Go Fashion. They're going to be considering their numbers in the next couple of trading sessions. They'll also be considering a proposal for buyback of equity shares. So that's why Go Fashion is up close to around 10%. Big move is what we're seeing out there. DCP Bank, Digant just mentioned that those numbers look quite good and the street likes it. So that's outperforming today. DCP up close to around 5%. Silver is twinkling. So that's why you have Hindustan Zinc, the only play on silver. That's, up close to around 3%. And Vedanta owns Hindustan Zinc. So that's why that's participating as well. Bharat Coking Coal listed last week. Plenty of excitement out there. Valuations ran a little bit ahead of themselves. We had mentioned this, that, float is limited. The issue came at around 23 rupees. The initial tick that we saw was around 45 rupees. And now it's at around 35 rupees. All this in a matter of a week. So sharp downtick is what we're seeing on that counter as well. Net, the Nifty has come down from the top. Plenty of earnings reactions, a lot of them on the downside, explains why the breadth of the market is negative.
The number one volume-led loser is Mahindra & Mahindra, which is down about 4.5% right now. Actually, across the NSE right now. So that's the top loser, as Rima just highlighted. That note from Goldman Sachs, they are putting the spotlight on Mahindra in terms of how the lowering of duties in that particular segment, if it were to happen, will perhaps impact Mahindra. Out of the pack the most. I mean, they're estimating I think 3.5% impact, but we'll have to see how this one goes. Kotak Bank is the number 2 volume-led loser. Indices is the number 3. JSW Energy, Godrej, Nigel mentioned, Godrej Properties. Actually, Godrej Consumer Products is down 3.5%. And Bharat Coking Coal, I think we highlighted lots of stuff. Novama is down about 5%. Stocks at about 12.30 or so. 12.60, beg your pardon, 12.70 now. So this is just about starting. Market breadth is 2.5:1. Wix is shooting up again. Wix is up. Let's just put up the India VIX. And the India VIX is up 11%. 11.5%. There you go. And I think that is clearly it's basically indicative of what's happening out there in the market, expecting high amount of volatility in the next couple of days. 75 points, which means already the Nifty, if you look at the Wix and the Nifty together, the Nifty is sold off almost about 150 odd points from the day's high. And this is just the first 5 minutes of trade as we are looking at things right now. There you go. That's the complete reversal, complete collapse that we are seeing. 24,960. I would imagine, and this is just a sense, because Friday was so brutal and the market sold off in the way it did. At least till about 12 o'clock, till about 11:30, 12 o'clock, there would be a fair bit of, forced selling by brokers, etc., margin-related issues, etc. Perhaps all that will culminate by and finish off by about 11:30. So maybe after that point, after about 11:30, 12, at least, that's what I would expect. Things get a little better. So we'll see if that is indeed the case. But for now, there is, of course, we've got a problem at hand. A 100-point cut is what you have. 24,950. Dheeraj